Hi everybody, it's Doreen at Privies and Prims Needlecrafts. It's been a while since I've been on here to do an actual floss tube, so welcome to everybody. I'm sorry it's been so long. I've been camping, I've been making project bags, and now I'm a quilter. I guess about a week and a half ago, I made my first quilt block, and that's what I've been doing for 3 days this week. I went camping from Thursday until Saturday night. It was so super hot. I came home Saturday night instead of Sunday. And then I was busy all day Sunday. And then Monday, I went to this Quilt Guild event that we have locally, and it's called a staycation. And I have decided recently that I wanted to try to make mini quilts. So I won't, let me correct that. I will never say never anymore, but I do not plan at this moment to ever make a bed quilt. I will be doing small, miniature, table size, or wall hangings. That is the plan. So I may have to eat my words later. Anyway, I'm really enjoying that, but I'm really tired. So if I look tired, it's because I just got up from a short nap and decided I really need to get back in touch with you guys because it's been, I guess, 3 weeks or maybe a little over. So I've been doing wool applique, I've been doing quilting, I've been doing cross stitch. So I have a lot to show you. And then and I have project bags to show you for Christmas in July. And then at the end of the video, stay tuned for that because I'm going to focus on a designer that is a new cross stitch designer. And she's pretty new. And she's also designs Punchneedle patterns. So she has an Etsy shop and she has some exclusives that are only going to be at shops. And so I'm going to get to that at the end of the video. So stay tuned for that. So first I will show you my wool applique. Let me take this out of the bag. This is a pattern that, I made it once many years ago in the early 2000s and I sold it. And I decided I wanted to make it again for myself. And you may have seen me talk about this if you've been following me for a while. I'm trying to, I've got the light coming in from the skylight, but let me see if I can get this. It is called Rustic Star Table Runner and it's by Heart to Hand. 11 by 35 wool applique table runner. So originally I wasn't going to put the tongues on it. These are called tongues. I was just going to make it so that it would hang straight up. But I've changed my mind and I've decided to make it. I think it will fit on my coffee table, which I probably should try it. But anyway, I'm going to use it either like as a table runner or table mat. So I finally finished. Well, I didn't finish it, but I finished what I had cut. I took it camping with me and I've taken it to doctor appointments and then never touched it. I just carry it in with me and then never work on it. So this weekend I finally finished stitching it and here it is. I don't think you can get like the whole thing in the screen. The colors probably are not showing up as they are in real person. So I stitched this with one color of Valdani pearl cotton. And let me see if I can get close up there. It's all done. I have no idea what you're seeing here, so hopefully it's good. It's all done with blanket stitch. And this is the backing. It just has some interfacing on it. So I do have to cut a piece of fabric for the back of it, and then I need to cut the tongues and put those on and press it. But before I do all that, it's a very primitive pattern, and oh gosh, these look pink. Well, they're kind of like a mauvey brown. But anyway, I'm not happy with the pearl cotton because it has a sheen to it. And the pattern is very primitive. So I may be crazy, but I'm going to restitch it. So I'm going to use a cotton thread without a sheen. It's just like a cotton crochet thread that I have. And just use like a tan or a brown. I have a lot of it. And I'm just going to whip stitch it instead of doing the blanket stitch. And then after that's done, well, I was going to say after it's done, I will take the blanket stitch out. But I'm thinking the blanket stitch is probably going to have holes there. So I may have to take out like one flower at a time, one stem and leaves at a time, and just whip stitch it so that I can go into that same hole where the pearl cotton went in. Because I think it would look much more prim and I'd be much more happy with it. So like I said, I may be crazy, but the part I don't like about doing these is the cutting and the piecing. The stitching is the easy part. So again, it's just going to be something I just set aside and take with me, you know, where I don't, because to cross stitch, I have to have a magnifier. And I don't like to do that outside when I'm camping or anything, or even really in the camper. This is just something that I can take and it's just, you know, whip, whip, whip stitch. And it's quick and it's easy and just busy work. So that is that. Cross stitch. I have done some cross stitch. I am working on this by Stacy Nash Primitives, Big Blue House Drum, Pin Keep Drum. So this is 7-inch diameter by 2 inches high, and I'm stitching it on, well, it calls for 36 count seraphim linen antique lace. I am stitching it on 36 count Picture This Plus vellum. And here is my stitch here. And I had this fabric already and I've shown it before, but I think it's close to the color that's called for, and that's why I chose it. So I finished the house last night. Now I'm working on the roof, and I had a really hard time when I was doing this. Let me see. I went across first and then went up and over, and I counted up, I counted over. Maybe this count is off, I'm not sure, but when I try to go down, my count was off. It just didn't work. So I had to take that out, go back a couple, and then I just left that string hanging and then rethreaded another needle and came up from this side because it's just one block over all the way up. So it came up from that side until it met. And I don't know, somehow it turned out right that way, but the other way, it was not working. So that is my cross stitching. And that is all I have done in cross stitch. So, and this is living in this bag. And sorry, Lillian, you cannot have it. I don't have any more, but that is mine. I made the Notions bag and the thread bed to match. So I had ordered that fabric online. If I ever see it in a store, I'll grab some because, I mean, it was popular. They sold pretty quick. Oh, let me show you my new purse. Whoops. I didn't make it, but I love it. I actually found it on a site called ThreadUp, and it is a Bella Taylor, Bella, and crossbody thing. So love that. Maybe one day I will be talented enough to make them. Let me see what I show you next. I'm going to show you my quilting. So like I said, I'll show you this first. Just got this fabric in the mail today. I found it online on eBay. I was looking through, this is for project bags. I was looking through the Primitive Quilts and Projects magazines because I have some old ones. So I was looking for quilt patterns. There's a lot of prim patterns in there. And even though they're for larger ones, it's just like cross stitch. You can pull a small section out and just do that section. So in the back of the magazine, and it was an older magazine, was an ad showing this new line of fabric, which it's not new anymore. It was many years ago. I don't know if there's a date. 2000. Oh, no, that's a pattern number. Let me see. It's Buttermilk Blossoms by Stacy West of Buttermilk Basin for Henry Glass and Company. And it does not have a date. But it's going to make some awesome project bags. And that's all that's there. That's the piece, but it is folded in half. So anyway, this new line of fabric was posted as an advertisement in the back of the magazine. And I did a Google search. I found this on eBay. And I did not find the regular. I don't think I found the regular one. I don't remember. But I got this anyway. So I thought that would be an awesome project bag. Okay, quilting. So I know that the 9 patch is one of the easier ones. So I will insert a picture here of my very first quilt block that I made. And I took that and I made 10 the first day, all different, not 10 of the same. I was just cutting up scraps that I had from project bags. And so I decided, I wasn't sure, like, was I going to put them into a mat? And again, Lillian talked me into, or I should say encouraged me to make a table mat. So I wanted to take one square and just see what it would look like, one block, and see what it would look like completely finished. So this was my first finished one. And this is homespun, which is, well, the light really changes. It's from that skylight, sorry. This is a dark green and tan homespun. Now, homespun is a very soft cotton fabric. It is woven. It's not printed on. It's the same on both sides. There's not really a right side and wrong side, or not to my knowledge anyway, but it moves a little bit. So when I did the binding, this is self-binding the same way I do the project bags, and it moves a little bit. So it's a little wonky and off. This part, I think, came out great. All of the points match up, and my stitching was all straight. Of course, I did machine quilting. Got a fuzzy somewhere, I see it. Right there, let me see. Yep, so, okay, so this was left over from a project bag. And that's what I did. So I cut 2.5 squares. It's one piece, the backing, and then I bring it around to the front, and that makes the binding. I just cut it an inch bigger all the way around. So that was the first one I finished. So then I went to, Monday was day one of the staycation for the Quilt Guild. And it is in Burnsville, North Carolina, and the Quilt Guild is called Peacemakers. Mountain Peacemakers Quilt Guild, because we are in the mountains of Western North Carolina. So then I was trying to experiment with things. So this one is not quilted on the back. I didn't quilt it all the way through. I quilted it before I put the backing on. And it just has a piece of fusible fleece in it, a thin piece. Then I wanted to try it with quilting with the backing on. So I did this one, same fusible fleece, and I did the stitching as I came out. This binding, I'll show you. So this binding was not folded around yet, and it was still sticking out an inch. So I took the stitching when I went across, and I went all the way out to the end of the fabric. So then when I folded it over, I had to make sure that the stitching lined up. And you can see it right there and right there, and then up here. So I was experimenting, did I want to do that, or did I want to stop the stitching at the end of the front fabric? And then it would not be on here. So I was just playing. These are great to experiment and learn with. And they could be a mug rug, put your cup of coffee on it, or you could put a jar candle on the inside, like just, table mat, set your jar candle on there. So I'm going to be making several of these and bringing them to the retreat in September. I may put some on Etsy, and so because I have a lot of scraps. And then this was the third one that I made right here. Love this fabric. Oh, it's not focusing. Let me see. There we go. Love this fabric combination. And this one, I stopped the stitching at the end of the front fabric. So this one, the stitching does not come out past, well, it's underneath the binding, but it's not on the binding. So I stopped it at the back. So I don't know if I like one more than the other, but definitely it's easier to stop it. Here we go. It's easier for me. It was easier to stop it. And then I put some of my iron-on labels on here, and I do have a tutorial video showing how I make my own labels. So those are, this one I did at home about a week and a half ago. And then these two I did at the Quilt Guild staycation. So staycation is, we have a room rented at the town center from 9 o'clock to 4 o'clock, Monday through Thursday. We do this once a year, or they do it once a year. And then we go home at night. So we stay till 4 or 5 o'clock, and then we go home at night. So that's really nice because you get to go home and rest. So yesterday, all those other quilt blocks, because I said I had made 10, so this would be 6, 7, 8, 9. Actually, I had to make an extra one. But so I've made 11. And I have 2 of these that are unfinished. Like I don't have any backing, or, I didn't finish them off. They're just the block. And they're not quilted yet. And they are at the town center waiting for me to do something with them. So I took 6 of the blocks. I had to make a new one because of the color combinations I had used. And I wanted to make with Lillian's. And Lillian is Bestie Barn Creations on Etsy. And with her encouragement, she said to make table mats for retreat mats. So this is what I made right here. So that is just 6 of the 9 patch. That's what they're called, right? 9 patch. 6 of the 9 patch quilt blocks. All sewn together, and then I quilted it, and I stopped at the end. I just had to look and make sure. Let me make sure this is not upside down. Here we go. Which only matters for my label, nothing else. So that's the fabric I used on the backing. And I just did the self-binding again and brought it around to the front. So this is my first table mat. There we go. So I'm absolutely in love with this. And there are little flaws. It's not perfect. And I have found with doing these that none of them are perfect. I did have a kind of rude comment on my Facebook on Privies and Prims. And what really shocked me was she said I had a lot of room for improvement. And I said, is that an insult? And she said, is it? And what really shocked me is that it was from a quilt guild. And quilt guilds are supposed to be encouraging people and, promoting quilt making and new people learning it. And so it really surprised me. But she is now blocked because, we don't need negativity. We need encouragement and positive. I am definitely positively 100% open to constructive criticism. If you have a tip to tell me to make it better, or, how things are going to work better, I am so open to that, but not rudeness. That's not called for. So anyway, absolutely love this. And I am going to keep this one, I think, because this is my first one. So I love the colors and everything. And after I had it assembled, I realized that this fabric is a lot lighter than all the rest, but it was too late because it was already put together. And then what I did today, I'll show you next. And I realized when I got that one together that there was one fabric that was different than the others. But today we had like a consultation time where you could bring out a project and ask all the other ladies, what did they think? If you needed help with something or whatever. So I was getting ready to remake that block and with a different fabric. So I had different fabrics pulled and, was going to ask them which one they thought I should use. But they all said to just leave it, that they liked the way it was. So I joined a Facebook group at someone's suggestion on my Facebook page, and it is Kathleen Tracy Quilts, or it might be Quilting, but if you look up Kathleen Tracy, Tracy, there's no E in there. She has a Facebook group, and there are free patterns in the Facebook group files. So this is one of those patterns, and she calls it a doll quilt, but all of hers, I think all of her quilts are miniatures, which is what I am interested in. I took my own colors because I wanted it to be very primitive, very neutral, and I'm going to put it in front of this other one because there's no backing on it yet. I got really tired today and said it's time for me to go home because I didn't want to mess it up. So it's the time right now to kind of sandwich it together and then do the quilting. And I just didn't want to mess it up. So I will finish it tomorrow. I guess this is going to probably be, if you look, it's probably going to be about the same size as the other one. Just about. So this is my quilt. And see, it's a little crooked. There we go. So I felt like it was like, which one of these doesn't belong? And let me see if I can show you. This is the one that I was questioning right here because it has navy blue in it and the rest are all like browns and tans, except that one has little black stars in it. But everybody said to leave it, so that's what I did. And I got this all pieced, and some of them, yeah, they're a little wonky. They're not perfect. But, you know, the Amish always make a mistake on every quilt. They do something different, so it's not perfect because they say Jesus is the only one that's perfect. So we'll go with that, and we're also going to go with, because it's primitive, it gives you a little leeway for things not to be perfect. Now, these, I have to back up. These long strips right here were supposed to be this fabric. Let me show that up close. They were supposed to be that fabric, but I left it at home, and the pieces I had cut I didn't cut them long enough, and I didn't have it with me, but I had this with me. So that kind of matched the color scheme there. I think I definitely would like it better if all four of these were this brown, but I just didn't have it with me, and I didn't want to wait until tomorrow. I wanted to keep working on it. So this is all squared up and trimmed now and ready for the batting and the backing. And the backing is going to be this fabric right here. Let's see if I can get it in focus. It's got like little stars on it. Yeah, there we go. And that's going to be the backing. And then the binding is something I've never done. So I'm going to do the regular quilt binding instead of doing the back around to the front. I'm going to try, because this is a perfect time for me to do this. I have a room full of women that are quilters that have been doing it for years. And any questions I have, they can help me. So the binding fabric is dark. And let me get that and I'll show it to you. Okay, I am not 100% absolutely sure, but I think this is what I cut for the binding. And I think that is a Kansas Troubles fabric. No, Primitive Gatherings. Miniature Gatherings by Primitive Gatherings. So if you can picture it with this, that will be, it's so hard with this light. That's going to be the binding. I think that's the fabric I cut. And I'm going to take that with me tomorrow just in case I didn't cut it long enough. And the reason I didn't cut it long enough, it's my fault, is because my seams were not 1/4 inch. They were a little bit smaller than 1/4 inch. So by the time I got all of this put together, those little bits of not 1/4 inch made these strips that I had cut were 1/2 inch too short. So that was the problem with that. It was my fault. But once I realized when I did these 6 blocks and then I wasn't doing 1/4 inch, I didn't want to change it because then I thought everything else would be off. So I left it. So for this one, I mean, for the rest of it, I can do 1/4 inch. But as I was doing the piecing, I did not want to do. I didn't want to change it. So that is that. I just got these 2 books today in the mail, and they are Kim Deal, and got them from eBay at a really good price. So I think they were $9 and something a piece, but Kim Deal also does a lot of really small quilts and wall hangings. And what happened with this one is I actually canceled the order and they refunded my money. And then today it was in the mailbox with the other one because it's the same seller. So I'm going to have to contact them because, otherwise I feel guilty. Because I didn't pay for it. They refunded my money. I decided that this was a lot of applique and I didn't want that. But I have to ask them what they want me to do about that send it back or whatever. Okay, I think that is the quilt stuff. I'm going to move on to the project bags. And, I'm going to put a timestamp at the bottom here so that if you're not interested in the project bags and you want to see the featured pattern designer, I'll tell you what timestamp to skip ahead to. So these are all in my Etsy shop. They're all Christmas because I did 19 bags for Christmas in July, and I have sold a couple of them. A lot of these are Teresa Kogut fabrics, and we're going to get a lot of glare on the vinyl. So I'm just going to go over these quick. This is Teresa Kogut inside also, which you can't see because of the glare. These 2 are Teresa Kogut inside and out. That's the fabric there. This one is Teresa Kogut. The inside is not Teresa Kogut, but it matches really well. This is Teresa Kogut of a different print than what's on the back, but it has the same coloring, so it goes with it well. This one is Teresa Kogut. And inside also, oh gosh, it's hard. Let me open it. So this is a coordinating fabric, and it's kind of grunge. It's so hard to see. I'm going to turn this light on above me and see if that helps. Okay, I tried to turn the light on, but it made it worse. Anyway, it is an antique gold. Oh gosh, can't see it. It's a very subtle stripe, and it's part of the same fabric line. So there's pictures on Etsy will show it very well without a glare. So that's Teresa Kogut inside and out. This is another Teresa Kogut. This one, there you can see the green stripe. It's also her line, part of the same line. Another Teresa Kogut. And this one has the plaid. Her plaid inside's got the navy blue in it. Let me see. I'll show you all the Teresa Koguts first. Okay, there's 3 with this fabric. One of them also has a notions bag inside. And then these 2 are just project bags. So like I said, there's really good pictures on Etsy. And each one, see how one is a little smaller? So you always want to read the description on Etsy. It tells you the exact size. This is just a fun winter one. It's got fox, an owl, snowman, and a bear in snow globes. And that has a little blue and white print inside. It's actually little flowers, but they kind of look like snowflakes too. And then this one with the Christmas campers. And it has the same blue and white because it's got that blue background. So that's the front of that one. And then these 2, this fun fabric. And the fabric inside is part of the same line. So it's coordinating with the colors, and it says Holly Jolly Christmas, Christmas Adventure, Joy, Merry and Bright, Happy Holidays, Ho Ho Ho, Jingle Bells, 'Tis the Season, Happy Camper Christmas. So this one just the project bag, which is $25, and then the 3-piece set, which is $35. So this has a thread bed, needle book, whatever you want to call it, inside. And it has a piece of wool to hold your needles. And then this is the fusible fleece that your orts, your little thread strings will stick on there until you either throw them out or save them, whatever you do with it. And then this one is a primitive Christmas fabric. It's got the pine branches on it and the berries. And the inside of this, you're really going to have to look at the Etsy picture if you want to see the inside. It's a really dark green. It's a Kansas Troubles quilters fabric. It's got little flowers on it, and it's not going to show up. But I have a close-up of the inside fabric on the Etsy listing. And for the dog lovers, there's this fun one, Christmas presents and dogs. And that's the front. It's got like a swirly green fabric in there. And then for the cat lovers, there's this one. And this also has a notions bag. So that one would be $32. And that is all of the Christmas project bags. There's a lot more project bags in the Etsy shop that aren't Christmas. So if you're looking for something not Christmas, definitely go there and check them out. And next week, because this week I'm busy with the Quilt Guild thing, and then we have family coming this weekend. So probably won't start till next week, but my next grouping of project bags will be primitive fabrics, like what you're seeing here and on the other table mats. So I'm going to be using some of those prim fabric because I have a whole basket full, and then I have some in the drawer, and I keep shaking the table, sorry. But the next ones are going to be primitive. So I will let you know. I post it on Facebook group when I'm going to put them in Etsy. And the not Facebook group, Facebook page is Privies and Prims. So be sure to go over there and hit follow. So now I want to talk to you about the pattern designer. So her name is Robin, and I'm sorry, Robin, I do not know how to say your last name, but her business name is Bird in Hand Primitives, and she is the designer of the logos for my retreats. She does beautiful artwork. It's kind of folk art, primitive, and she has some exclusive Christmas patterns for Punchneedle and cross stitch. So Christmas in July. They are exclusive to the Shepherd's Needle, and I will post a link for that down below in the description box for the Shepherd's Needle. You can get them there, is the only place right now, and that is until I think the end of September, either the end of August or the end of September. And so definitely go over and check those out. And then she also has some patterns that are exclusive only to shops, other shops. So I will also list, because I don't have the list in front of me, but I will list the shops that you can buy the other patterns at. And then also check out her Etsy shop, because her Etsy shop has the PDFs and of the ones that are not exclusive to the brick and mortar stores. So as I'm talking here, I'm going to post some pictures of some of her patterns. And those, you can go over and check them out in her Etsy shop and in the Shepherd's Needle, and then the other shops that will be on the list in the description box. And I will also list her Etsy shop link in the description box. So I'll have all those links. And definitely check her out. She's got some fun patterns. She, I think, has a Facebook page and maybe Instagram. So if I can find all that, I will post the links for all of that in the description box. But definitely check her out. She is a new cross-stitch designer. She's been doing doodle books and punch needle patterns for a while, but she's pretty new to cross-stitch. So definitely head over there and check her out. So if there's any more pictures after I'm finished, they're just going to keep scrolling. And I appreciate every one of you watching. Thank you so much for sticking around with me and coming to visit. If you're new, thank you so much. Please consider hitting that subscribe button. And I had a giveaway. So last video, the last floss tube video, at the end of it, I just snuck in another giveaway for those who watched to the end. And I am going to post the winner here because I haven't chosen it yet. So I am going to put her name here. And then if there are more of Robin's patterns that I haven't showed yet, I will show those after it. So check it out. Be sure you look up from your stitching and let me know in the comments, what else do you do? What other needlework do you do besides cross stitch? And I will do a pattern giveaway. I'm just going to pick something. It'll be a surprise because I have a whole bunch that were shared with me to give away. So I will pick something for surprise giveaway, but let me know in the comments, what other do you use? What other needlework do you do besides cross stitch? And hold on 1 minute and I'm going to show you the giveaway for last video. All right, so this is the giveaway from last video. And if you can see it, it's those that watched to the end, and it's a Lizzie Kate pattern. Hopefully it's in focus. It's called Summer ABC's Snippet, and it has a little watermelon button here, and the keyword to use was watermelon. So I will again post the winner's name right here across the screen. Get in touch with me at priviesandprims@email.com. Wouldn't that be funny? priviesandprims@yahoo.com. So that is also in the description, and my links are in the description box. And after this video ends, at the very end, there's a picture of my business card that tells you all the ways that you can follow me and contact me. So thank you again. Hit the thumbs up, leave me a comment, and please subscribe. It helps my channel. And I'll see you next time. Bye.